Good evening, folks. Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's full-time reaction after Celtic 3, St Mirren 0. I've got Kenny and Martin with me to go through that one. Martin, 3-0 in the end. A huge win for us at this stage of the season. What do you make of that today?
I thought it was a game of two halves. The first half, I think we were all scratching our head at half-time saying where's the intensity, where's the urgency that we've seen last week at Ibrox. There was really nothing to get excited about in that first half, despite, you look at the starting lineup and we'd be quite excited other than the absence of Idah. But the second half was completely different. Second half we came out, we got the early-ish goal, and then I thought once the goal went in, I thought that was it, job done. St Mirren were a bit deflated, they opened up and then it was chance after that, and for me the only disappointment would be that we only scored 3. Could easily have been 4, 5 or 6 if we really went for it. The conditions didn't help today, the wind was horrendous. The whole 90 minutes the wind was horrendous, but I thought it was very much a game of two halves. Whatever the team talk was at half time made a difference in the second half.
Aye, definitely did, Kenny. We've seen that a lot this season, haven't we? Like a bad half followed by a good half or vice versa. A couple of changes to the team today with Scales injured and Maeda out. Nawrocki and Yang came in. What did you make of the performance of those two?
I thought Yang was really poor. I thought it seems Yang was in a nice groove. He had that great performance at home, to Dundee when you're 6-0 up. But it seems if there's any other variation, if you're playing a slightly tougher opponent, if there's windy conditions, if you're in an away ground, he just falls apart. His output is really, really unreliable. So I was disappointed with Yang. I don't think Yang can play at Hampden. Nawrocki, I thought it was okay. He's not under a great deal of pressure at home to St Mirren. He uses the ball pretty well and he's quite comfortable on the ground. The only thing that worries me about, he's got a bit of a lack of speed. He's not as fast, he doesn't cover as much ground. The Scales has got a lot of speed, but he hasn't quite covered as much ground. So I thought it was an okay outing for him. That jersey's going to be up for between him and Welsh. I don't know, but the output for the wingers was one of the biggest contributing factors as to why we didn't have a shot on goal for 50 minutes.
Yeah, I think in the first half the wingers really did struggle, Martin. Just on Nawrocki there, I think he did okay, but my concern with him, times we've seen him this season, and I like him, I think he's really good on the ball, but I think it's defending. Again, see when he gets dragged out of position in the wide area, I remember an away game he had early in the season as well, where he didn't know whether to go and commit to the winger, and he was hesitant. There was one in the first half that was very similar as well, so you can tell there is a lot of growing and developing there to do for Nawrocki.
It feels like he's raw. I mean, he's got a determination to get in early and tackle early, but as you say, at times his decision making is a bit questionable. But there's certainly something in there. There's a player in him, and the recent time that we've seen him was the Rangers game here, where I thought he was good, but of course he gave away the free kick for the goal, and again it was a kind of rash decision and the wrong decision. So decision making, still finding his feet a bit. I mean, players like that do take a little bit of time to settle, but I think there's enough in there that probably he's the one that should be getting first shout of that. Although Welsh came on and did okay today, and he hasn't let us down too often when he's been given a chance, but he was okay today, as Kenny says. You'd probably need to see him get a run of games and see how he does in the bigger games.
Yeah, Kenny, plenty of positives in that second half. Reo Hatate breaks the deadlock. He felt like it was one of the days where we might need a bit of magic, and my God, he gave us it with that first goal, a great touch, and then on the half volley into the top corner. What a finish.
You felt like we needed that because we hadn't. I think that was our first shot on target, which was just amazing, and he wasn't getting fed. Iwata can't get the ball forward at the same speed or level of intelligence as McGregor, and Hatate's a bit marginalised because of that, because he needs to be fed. He's only one man, and I thought for the first half he was pretty anonymous because of that. But with someone of his class, you only need a moment. What other player in the team can curl that ball in with the outside of the foot in the top corner? Maybe Matt O'Reilly, but I mean that was a wonderful finish, and that just takes all the pressure out of the stadium. St Mirren have to open up, and the entire game turns on its head because of a moment of magic from Hatate, and that's what we've missed. If he stays fit for the last 5 games of the season, then he will get better, because he will need. He's not entirely fit, it's obvious, but he could be an utter linchpin to us getting potentially 2 trophies.
Yeah, absolutely, Martin. You can see the difference with Hatate back every week. He has such a positive influence on the team. One player who I thought was really effective in the second half was Johnston. I don't think he had the best first half. The second half really came into a few great crosses, and obviously he picks out Kyogo for the second goal. I thought he did a great second half.
I don't know where that performance has come from, because he hasn't performed well for a prolonged period of time now, but I think he set up the first 2 goals, and even beyond the assist for those 2 goals, I thought he was constantly looking for the ball. He looked confident on the ball, he was looking to get forward, he was going inside and outside, and he didn't have much on that side of the pitch. He was really felt at times he was isolated. It's not as if he had somebody in front of him who was performing to a good standard. So I thought that was one of his best games today. I actually thought he might have got man of the match. He played that well. But I couldn't agree more on Hatate. I'm probably his biggest fan. I'm a wee bit with Hatate, what you're like with Kyogo. I just love watching him. Never tire of watching him. His ball retention, his decision making, the pace that he puts on the pass, his finishing. He's got it all. I mean, I believe spoke to one of his family members a while back, and they said that for a long spell in his younger career, albeit at a lower level, he was a striker. But I think he's that versatile player. He could play him anywhere on the pitch and he would perform.
Yeah, absolutely. Kenny, talking to Kyogo, Brendan Rodgers said during the week that he feels Kyogo's form has taken an upturn. I think that too, but he's not had too many goals. Again today, one header just after half time that he didn't get enough on, but brilliant for him to get in the score sheet, because it's alright for a striker to be playing well, but he'll think that he needs to score goals and that'll help.
I mean, he needs the service. He gets zero service from those wingers.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. In the first half, he was so peripheral. I mean, I don't know how many times he touched the ball, 2 or 3 times or something, and it's like playing with 10 men, but it wasn't his fault. He's reliant on service. The second half, Alistair Johnston just becomes really alive, and he's swinging nice balls in for Kyogo to get on the end of. When you get to the byline more, how many goals has he scored by people getting to the byline, feeding it in, and he clips it in at the near post? That's his trademark goal. He can't score his trademark goal because nobody's getting to the byline. The Maeda injury looks like could be a little bit costly for us because of the output out wide. But yeah, Kyogo obviously starts at Hampden. He's coming back in a bit more confidence. Lovely bullet header, quality header, and it's nice to see. We're going to need him these last 5 games.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. We actually made a lot of subs in the game, one more than you're technically allowed, I suppose. But his concussion, was it Nawrocki that went off with?
I think so, because that was the one that seemed like the random sub. Whereas the other ones were, I think there was 4 at the one time, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And then the late substitution. So I'm pretty confident it was. It wasn't clear in the game, but there was a lot of talk when the 6th sub came. You know, there's a mistake being.
I know, we're going to avoid the league.
We're in trouble here.
We've seen again though at times this season when you make 3 or 4 subs together can sometimes have a negative impact on the team, and we haven't had a lot of clean sheets. We did get one today, and actually not just the improving the attacking play in the second half. I thought we restricted St Mirren to very little entries into our box in the second half, which in contrast to the first day, 1 or 2 openings. But I think Carter Vickers swept up brilliantly, and Joe Hart had basically nothing to do in that second half.
Carter Vickers was outstanding. I mean, the player he was up against today was a big physical lad as well, and only one occasion where they kind of wrestled Carter Vickers to the floor. That Carter Vickers looked like he wasn't in complete control. You know, these players just bounce off him. He's not fazed by it at all. He enjoys the battle. I thought he was excellent today. And I thought, talking about the substitutions, James Forrest came on and looked like he had a wee bit of swing in his step and a wee bit of confidence, and he was spraying the ball about. And maybe he could have got a goal as well. He was unlucky a couple of times. So substitutions didn't necessarily make a huge positive impact in the game, but equally it didn't set us back either. I thought he came on and did okay.
Yeah, Brendan Rodgers said the thing that's pushing Kyogo is Adam Idah. He comes on, he gets another goal. I know you've been impressed by him since he arrived at the club, and he's definitely helping us. He's giving us something different.
Without a doubt, yeah. I mean, look at how powerful his aerial finish was against Motherwell, right? A real animal of a header. Look at how the quality in his feet at Ibrox in the most intense environment of all. That just a poacher's goal today. He's scoring all sorts of different types of goals for us. And he's a powerful big. It's hard to find. How many donkeys have we attempted to sign that are tall, powerful strikers that just don't have that level of ability? He's got it all. And he's young. And he's not played that many senior games, so you can only imagine he's only going to get better, and he cares. He seems to care about Celtic. I'd love to sign him. I'd love to spend whatever it is, 4 or 5 million quid on him and get him in. And he sits in there as a really nice and either number 2 at Kyogo or an option for us if games get stuffy. So yeah, he's been a real positive surprise for the club. Whether we can get him or not, I don't know, but I think we should pursue it.
Yeah. Martin, the victory puts us 4 points clear. Rangers obviously have the 2 games in hand, one tomorrow in that Dundee game. Good to get the points on the board though, and just apply as much pressure as we possibly can.
There's no doubt about it. We'll keep an eye on Rangers' results tomorrow and the game on Wednesday. I think the game on Wednesday's turned out to be
a dead rubber.
A bit of a dead rubber. I mean, I'm sure Dundee, with everything that's been said about how the club has been criticised, there'll be a little bit of tension in that game, more so than normal, but it's just unfortunate that they've secured top 6 before that game's getting played. So we'll keep a wee eye on their results the next couple of games, but it's all about us for me. You know, we've got 5 games left, 3 at home, 2 away, potentially tricky games if it is St Mirren and Kilmarnock, albeit St Mirren, we've negotiated 2 good results against them at their place this year. Kilmarnock, we haven't done that. Rumours are Kilmarnock's going to be the last game. I don't know how people find these things out, but whenever it is, it'll be a tough fixture. But 3 at home and 2 away, for me it's all about us. And we've definitely turned a corner. You know, Carter Vickers looking good, Hatate coming back, the captain coming back on today as well. Other than Maeda, we're looking pretty solid.
The one answer we don't have is out wide. We've got to find an answer out wide. Forest's last 3 sub appearances have had real quality in them. I'd be tempted to start James at Hampden and say, look, shows what you've got, James. Try and get us over the line with these 5. If he starts the last 5 games and plays the way he has done when he's came on, we're going to be a markedly better side than we showed in that first half. So that's the one area we've really got to try and find a solution for urgently.
Just briefly, a few shouts for man of the match. Hatate get the sponsor. Who was it for you?
I thought Alistair Johnston, because I think he's now coming into fitness and form. Remember, he was out for quite a while. And he really gives us all, Alistair Johnston. I mean, he's got such guts, and his quality in that from that right back position was excellent with his deliveries in the second half. I'd give it to him.
Yeah, Martin.
I'd be the same. I thought Johnston was going to get it. His 2 assists were beautiful for the first 2 goals. Hatate was excellent the way he took his first goal, but for me overall, it'd be Alistair Johnston. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's after full time reaction. We'll see you next week for the build up to that semi final at Hampden. Thank you.